What's up, familia? Welcome back. I hope you can hear me okay. Let me move my mic over just a tiny little bit. But I want to welcome you all. I just recently went live for a short period because I wanted to test out another software, Streamlabs, but it was glitchy, like really bad. So I needed to cancel that. And I'm jumping on here just one more time just to talk to you all about some stuff. I'd like to welcome you and thank you all for joining the live chats and the previous lives. It's been really great creating things with you all. We've created a bunch of awesome notebooks just to show you all. We've created this one, for example. This was last week's journal. We've created this on here, and you guys got to decide the washi tapes. I didn't create this one on a live session, but I created that one. This is one that I created from some scraps. I didn't show the making of this because I just wanted to test it. But that one was cool. I made a different size yesterday, just testing out different things. But on different lives, we made this one. We made this one, and you decided on that too. I made this one. I didn't make this one on that, but anyway, just some of the cool stuff that we've done here on the channel during a live session. Last live session, 3 live sessions actually, we made this. We'd never done anything like this before. You guys got to decide what and how it was put together. And I like this. I like what we've created here. This is going to one day hopefully replace my other journal for my daily long form journal. And so, we were working on this for 3 different sessions, and finally on the last session we finished it, and it came out great. I really like the washi idea that you guys came up with. Actually, instead of gluing, we washi taped it, and it came out fantastic. I love how this came out. And then I'm noticing a few things, like for example, this is bending, like it's folding like this instead of being straight. It's kind of folding a little, but it works. Ivan says, "What's up?" Hey, what's up, Ivan? What's up? I missed the last live stream, but made it today. Good, excellent. Thank you for joining us. The last time Erica and I went to the Hobby Lobby and we picked up this set for $15. Can you believe that? Something like, if you buy something like this, let me show you. These two would be like $5, something like that. Look at how many you're getting for just $10 more. That's amazing, man. I really love the Hobby Lobby. Is great, and I'm glad that I found some that weren't too feminine, because that kind of deters me from doing it. There's plenty of like pink and butterflies and all kinds of stuff, and that's cool if I'm gonna make things like for my daughters or for Erica and all that. But I found one that was semi-neutral. I can use some of the darker tones for myself, and the foliage and some stuff like that I can use for myself. And then it does have some with like pink flowers and some other butterflies and things like that I can use for Erica's stuff. So, we decided, Ivan, the last time we decided that this journal was going to be our community journal, and we were going to fill it with quotes. And so if you wanted to share a quote that we can add to our journal, I'd be more than happy to add it. Just comment your quote and who it's from, and then I'll add your name as well at the bottom, that you're the one that submitted it. The thing that I wanted to talk about today was this journal. We also worked on this one here. The idea to this journal was I wanted to create a journal that fit in my utility pocket of my pants, because I always wear carpenter pants, and the carpenter pants on the side have has a pocket, a utility pocket for, I don't know, say like a cutting blade or something like that. And we designed this one to fit perfectly, so it's the right width and the perfect height. Originally, we had designed one that was just slightly shorter in this style, in the style of this type of journal, but it was folding much like this in the pocket, and it was like I had a nasty fold by day one actually, and I realized that I needed just a little bit more of a sturdy cover. This one's still bending a little bit, but because it's harder or more stiff, it's harder to bend. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby in a while, and yeah, it's hard to find more masculine themes. I like maps and compass. Yeah, me too. I do too. Oh, cool about the quotes. Give me a sec while I look through mine. Sure, no problem. Take your time. And so we designed this one to fit that pocket, and I've been feeling it. And I just wanted to share my 1 week experience of feeling this in the style of Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know that it's exactly in his style, but this is how I imagined it. I did add a little sketch here. I added another little sketch over here. Um, I think I wanted to more. What I really wanted to do was understand his way of thinking and what it was like to journal or to make a list in the way that he did, because it seemed really confusing to me, and the best way to understand it is to try it out firsthand, and that's what I did. And on this board, I just wrote, this journal was made on a YouTube live on September 24th. The purpose is to journal like Leonardo da Vinci and see what it was like to think like he did. And then I had a follow up on Monday, the 29th. So 5 days later, I said the journal is cool. It's a never ending to do list, great for capturing things you eventually would like to do or learn or practice. It's more of a record of interests, a reminder, and a to do hybrid. So it's a mixture of different things. And I'll show you some entries just so you can see what I mean by that. The very first entry that I did, because I didn't know what to put, so I just put anything, was make note of the things that you are curious about, right? If I'm going to put things that I'm wanting to do or wanting to learn, like he did, I'm going to want to make a list of things that I'm curious about. The next is make a list of people who can teach you about your curiosities. And I thought that was interesting too. Find out everything about journaling formats. I'm on a slight mission to look at different formats and learn whatever I can about these different journaling formats so I can better help you all, especially on our Discord page. I want to be able to answer questions, and I want to be able to know where to look for answers if I don't know the answers to them, for you all, because uh, I really see the potential of a really great community here. So I want to be as resourceful as I possibly can. This fourth entry was, why is there such a huge decline in customer service? I love customer service, but I noticed that there's a huge decline. So I'm asking myself this question, and is it the business or the individual? Meaning, is it the business that just stopped caring and so they're hiring anyone and not even giving them proper training? Or are they giving proper training, but the individual, the reps, the employees, they just don't give a bleep? What is it? I don't know. I made a note to practice guitar and all of the songs for a gig because I have a friend. Um, they call him Create. He owns a coffee shop and he hires me from time to time to play at his coffee shop. So I'm just a little reminder to myself to practice guitar and all of my songs, and then also to give him my schedule for the rest of the year because he wants to hire me at least once a month. My sixth entry here is find out how to build. I'm sorry, find out how to bind 2 signatures of 4 sheets in a simple way. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, but I at least thought I need at least 2 signatures that I combine together. I already know how to make one signature style book sewn, but I want to know how to sew 4 signatures, and then experiment with a 5.5 by 3.5 notebooks like this for long form journaling. So I wanted to originally this was going to be a 5.5 by 3.5. It ended up being a 4 by 6, which is even better. Um, yeah, this one is great. My quote, my friend, let's see, he wastes nothing, he gets you ready. Paul Manwaring. Excellent quote. Thank you, Angela. I'll add it to the journal in just a bit. I had the privilege of being run to run sound for my church, and I found this quote at around the beginning of this month. We are the stewards of every voice God has placed on this stage. Ooh, nice. Both human and instrumental. Oh, hey, that's nice. That's really good. That's great. All right, great quotes. Thank you for sharing both. I will add them in just a second. Um, so this evolved into a 4x6. So as you can see, we're testing the waters here. Number 9, ask Michaels and Hobby Lobby employees questions. So I figured, hey, why not ask them things that I want to know about, right? That's another way of learning how to do certain things. Number 10, find out how to use a pressure washer and what tools are needed or what tools you need. Number 11, make a press for book binding. 2 boards, 4 screws, and 4 wing nuts or 4 bolts. That's it. And I did it. I built it. That was fun to do actually. Yeah, I used a board that I had laying around, and I didn't have a matching one, and I was gonna let that stop me, but I decided not to let it stop me, and so I did it anyway. So here we are. This is my my book press, and it tightens with these wing nuts. It's it's great. It's great to see that I even like I drew what it was going to look like, and so like in my head, so I got Archie's hairs all over the garage. So in my head, I already started building it. That's why it you know it was an easy build. At least it seemed that way because in my head I had already built it. Um, I'll continue in just a minute. I'll add the quotes and then I'll continue in just a minute. But as you can see, these red numbers, I'm because I didn't know how Leonardo da Vinci referenced his previous notes. I decided that I was going to have a little bit of organization and number each entry. So E12, E1, E11, E10, those are entry 10, entry 11. And I'm going to continue even in the next journals. I'm going to still continue that with that number so I can know which entries I have and how many entries I've made. But also, I did this so that let's just say I'm in entry 44 and I'll say, hey, I noticed reference E11. I built the book press and this failed. Fix it this way. And then I'll know what I talked about, E11. And then, you know, entry 100, some other issue with this, and I can reference these and connect them in that way. Does that make sense? And then the date is just highlighted in whatever color I'm carrying with me, highlighter, whatever highlight color I'm using for that month, which means tomorrow. It reminds me, I got to pick another highlighter color for tomorrow. Yeah, my Archie boy, he's big, man. He's like, he's so big, and he's a little destroyer, man. He's like a little velociraptor, that dog. Um, so let's take a pause on that, and let's write these quotes before they pass too fast. And let's see, Angela. He wastes nothing. He gets you ready. All right, let's grab my one of my favorite pens, the Papermate Inkjoy Gel 0.7. Fantastic pen. Meant for bigger writing, I think. I can't write small stuff like this with this pen. It just, I'll cramp up. I'm going to be grabbing so tight just to be able to write a small, short E. It doesn't work. All right. So, he wastes. Quote. He wastes not thing. No thing. Wastes nothing. Period. He gets you ready. I like that. I get the sense that it's like, even though you thought it was a waste of time, or even though you think the experience led to nothing, it wasn't nothing. It was you being prepared for something. At least that's how I'm taking it. I hope that's more or less what it means. Paul Man, warring. I'll just put AH. Awesome. And then with Ivan's quote here, we are the stewards. I've heard this word. I know how it's used, but what exactly is the real definition to stewards, like being a steward? Being a steward, the stewards of every. God has placed on that stage. Both human and instrumental. Perfect. Medicine. If you just joined us, we're working on a community quotes on live sessions. If you want your quote on in the book, um, we are going to only take live suggestions. You can leave them in the comment section after this live is over, and if I like it enough, I might just use it. But add it. But I'm gonna try to respect that people come on here and join us live. Madison joins, senior editor, Sunday Mix. Then we'll go Ivan Romero. Perfect. So this is the journal that we made here on the live session, and we decided we were going to use this to gather quotes. So it's more of a commonplace book, I guess, for quotes. I love it. Thank you. It can mean like a caretaker. Okay. Stewards of every voice, caretakers of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. If you're on the mixing board, huh? You are the caretaker of those voices. I love that the instruments are also acknowledged as voices because they are. Okay, continuing on. Uh, Make it press for bookbinding. Did that. We actually, now this idea is now out here, and so is this one. Experiment with 5x3, 3x5, 5.5 by 3.5 notebooks like this one, but for long form journaling, 5 to 6 sheets. We didn't do exactly 5.5, we did 4x6. So this one's also out and manifested or materialized, I should say. Entry number 12. Understand why people do not filter their thoughts of displeasure. What do they hope to achieve by complaining? If it's one thing that really gets me is complaining. I have a lot of things that I am dealing with at one time, and so I'm juggling a lot inside of myself. And one thing that I like to do, or one thing that I do, is I put whatever complaining is wanting to surface, I put that in the back burner, and I do the things that I need to get done. And there's nothing worse than someone complaining about the things that they have to do, because all that does is it invites my own complaining to come out and play. It's like, hey, I'm complaining. Come out and complain with me. And so I feel it rising. And so it bothers me that people complain. Um, and since I do DoorDash, I come across so many people just complaining about trivial things. Well, trivial to me, right? But anyway, number entry number 13, make a list of all the positives slash benefits of these pocketbooks. And one of the things that I discovered is that if I wanted to see my notes side to side or side by side, is I could do this. Look at this. And I could see all my notes like this instead of reading them like I was reading just a few seconds ago. I can see them side by side and go, okay. So if I make a new note about E11, instead of having to flip to E11, where is it? There it is. I could just go, oh, E11. There it is. And then I could look at both of them together instead of flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Learn to be unmoved by comments, criticisms, sarcastic remarks, cynicism, and direct attacks. This is an inside job. On the 29th, make a sewn book, figure it out, 3 signature minimum. So I haven't even done the 2 signature, but I've been watching enough videos to know that I need to at least try 3, right? So do it. Just get it done. Make a mini shelf for the pocket journals, like use cardboard and think like IKEA to design it and build it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 boards, 5 for the back, and make some shelves and store these little bad boys inside a little mini shelf. Or more like storing these smaller ones in there and just putting them in a little shelf like this. What's the say? Okay, because so the question is, what's the thinking behind 3 signature versus 2? So 2 was me saying I need to step up, just take it one step further, right? Because I already know how to bind 1, but the next step is to do at least 2 together, so I can see how they work as 2. But the 3 came about because I was watching other people do full books, and they did like 6 or 7, and I noticed that there's a pattern that repeats on the 3rd, right? So you get to the 2nd, and then you tie that 2nd one to the 1st, and then you go up to the 3rd, and there's a pattern that continues on and on and on. And I think by the 3rd one, you kind of more or less have a deeper understanding of that pattern, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to understand a pattern. 1 and 2, maybe I can understand, but once I go to that 3rd one, I think I'll understand it deeper. Let's see. Find out what classes you can take in local colleges and how much each class is. So I'm not looking to take full-on courses, but I'm wondering if I could take like a woodshop class or something to that effect, so I can learn how to cut and build little things that I need to build. It's always been sort of my dream to make cutting boards for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting to understand what Leonardo da Vinci was like and why he thought the way that he thought. And so I think to a certain degree, I think almost in the same fashion. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not even close, but I think I understand a little bit more where he's coming from, because I'm curious about all these things as well. Use cement blocks you made as weights, like Ido Agassi. Ido Agassi is a gentleman who does bookbinding on YouTube, and he's fantastic. I love the way he teaches. Ido Agassi is just the most patient teacher that I've met on YouTube. And so he uses these little blocks, he calls them weights, and he puts them on top of whatever project he's working. And I was thinking about buying some. And then I remembered that there was a phase that I used to make things out of concrete or cement. And so I made things like this, and I made candle holders. I bought molds for candle holders and planters, right? And so I started experimenting with these blocks. And so I had these huge blocks that I bought a mold designed for for soap making. And instead of making soap, I made a big block of cement. And so those are heavy enough for me to place side by side and use it to almost in the same fashion that he was using them. So Ito Agassi, fantastic guy. I think I skipped something. Yeah, I skipped someone. I skipped some. Yeah, I skipped this one. When someone's vibes are beginning to affect you, retreat to your safe room and shut the doors. Observe and note. So the idea behind this is that I have this space in me that I shut all doors, and whatever's trying to get in won't get in. Someone being annoying, someone being aggressive, someone being passive aggressive, or anything like that. I retreat into that space and I close the doors, and then I just watch and make note of everything that they're saying, from the words that they're using to the story that they're building, to even micro expressions, little changes of facial expressions and little gestures that they make with their hands and all that, just to be able to get out of it as soon as I possibly can. Entry number 20: make signs out of cardboard, like the one that you made for Luna on her first day of TK. I made Luna when she started kindergarten. Luna's my daughter. I made her a cardboard sign that looked like it was wood. I painted it to look like it was wood, and it said first day of TK. And it kind of looked, I don't know if it's going to be blurry. It's going to look blurry, but it looked like wood, but it was made out of cardboard. And then a while back, I used to make signs like this. So I know how these things are built. And this reminds me, like and subscribe if you haven't already. But I loved making signs. And so I want to make things like this, but out of cardboard, and painting them, paint them. Anyway, remember to switch highlighter colors for month of October. So I'm going to pick my color now. I think I'm going to go with this yellow for tomorrow. Just going to use it there. So right now I'm using this blue, and this blue is going to get replaced with this yellowish green highlighter tomorrow. So I might as well leave that out. So that one's done. Discover/explore. My friend's name is Juan. Discover/explore Juan's wiggle room. He has this theory called the wiggle room, where he wants to teach himself something, but he doesn't restrict himself by trying to get it perfect the first time around, or by setting rules and saying, in order for me to be able to do this, I'm going to need this machine and these tools, and I don't have them, which means that now that project becomes very limited. What he does is he allows wiggle room. He says, okay, I may not have those instruments, but is it possible for me to make the project with whatever tools I can find? And so there's wiggle room there. And I feel like you really learn not just how to make the thing, but you learn how it's built and the nature of it. And so there's something interesting about that. And so I want to explore that a little bit more. Here's a quote that I want to add. I saw this on TikTok. It said, to conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the audience. This was sort of like a reminder not to worry about what other people are going to say. You make your music, you conduct your music, make your best music. That means turning your back on your audience. I don't mean that in a negative way, right? Like turn your back on people, but like don't look at people. Don't look at whether they like it or not. Just do it. And then the last entry, entry number 24. Figure out how to run an Ethernet cable from the router to the garage, maybe an Ethernet switch. And that's interesting because today the technician came, and I wrote this in the morning. And when the technician came to fix our internet, I just threw the question out there, hey, how can I run a cable? And he told me like two different ways. And one of them was drilling a hole. He wanted to do it for me, but he was like, man, I can't, because if I accidentally like hit a pipe or something, the company's going to be responsible, and then I'm going to be jobless. And I didn't want that to happen. So what he did was, it just so happens that he plays music. He plays guitar in church, and he saw my my YouTube setup here, and he asked me about that. And then he asked me what my channel was, and I told him that I was reviewing, or the previous channel that I had, or have still, is reacting to Christian music. And he's like, "Oh, I play Christian music too, and I'm in church." And he's like, "It's just complicated for me because I'm not sure about my notes, and it confuses me." And so I said, "Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I grabbed one of these extra notebooks, and I wrote down some easy chords like the 1 4 5, and for each key. And I said, just learn these and then follow along to the other musicians, and you'll be all right." And I took some time to teach him, and I showed him on the guitar. And then right before he left, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this switchboard so that you could uh, run your cable down here." And so I ordered an Ethernet cable, and in the next tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be running some internet here down in the garage, and that's it. So those are the entries of me, week one, uh, taking notes, I guess you could say, in the style of Leonardo da Vinci. And one thing that I learned was that it doesn't have to be organized. This isn't like a legit to-do list. You're not gonna make a to-do list like this where you're like, okay, now what's next? What's next on the list? This is like you're out and about and you see something that catches your attention and you're like, I want to find out more of that. And instead of it being in your head, you write it down and you say, I'm going to find out how to use a pressure washer and what tools you need. And what's going to happen is that even though I'm busy and I'm running or getting through my other to-do list, my real to-do list, whenever I have time and I don't know what to do, I can always go back here and say, oh yeah, I need to figure out how a pressure washer works, or oh, I need to build this thing. And then you take the time to build it, but at least it's not in your head and then gone, in a week or two. This is a great way of just going back and seeing, oh yeah, I was interested in knowing this, so I'm gonna try to cut some cardboard now and at least paint the background of a sign. And then my entry might be like, finish the sign that you started, so that when I'm busy and doing some other stuff and I have time, I can go back and say, oh yeah, I have that sign that I haven't finished. I'm gonna go and boom, do work on that. And it's just a way of keeping somewhat organized, but not really. There's no organization to this, other than the fact that I added the entry numbers to give me some sense of organization, and that's how that works. But I still have more to journal. This has just been week one. I wanted to share all that with you. I'm going to remember that I ended on entry 24. And my finding is that, this has really been really cool. So it's a never ending to-do list. And it's a great way of catching things that I eventually would like to learn, practice, or do. And it's more of a record of interest. So anything that I'm interested in goes in here. It doesn't have to get done. It just, if I picked it up, if I saw something and my brain went, ooh, I wonder how that works, put it here. Find out how that works. Ooh, I wonder if it's easy to build that. Find out how easy it is to build that. Ooh, I wonder how challenging it is to, or hey, you know what I've been wanting to learn? I've been wanting to learn how to drum. I've been air drumming for a really long time. Learn a basic drum beat. Learn a basic drum beat. And then eventually, when I have time, I'll look through here and say, oh yeah, I forgot. Bring the cement blocks. Go grab the guitar and practice it for a bit. And what's cool is that this, paired with interstitial journaling, has kept me on task and not wasting time. And I noticed that when I wasn't interstitial journaling, I would waste a lot of time just scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and all that. And now when I catch myself scrolling, I go, wait a minute, interstitial journaling, what do I have next? What's next? Like the interstitial journaling keeps me asking, what's next? What should I do? I'm wasting time here. What's next on the board? And I think this is the key, because I can go back and say, what was I interested in this week? This. Okay, that's next. Let's go for it. That's why I built the press. That's why I asked the guy about the Ethernet switch. Otherwise, I would have just thought about it and never even bothered to ask. And luckily I got the Ethernet switch uh, for free. I already had it on my cart on Amazon, so the dude saved me like 25 bucks, you know. But he walked away with some music stuff too. So yeah, so that's it, familia. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you for your quotes. I don't know who else is out there. I'm going to give it like maybe 2-3 more minutes in case anybody would like to share a quote to go on our community journal. This is a journal that we created, and we're going to be collecting your favorite quotes. So if you have a favorite quote you want to go on the book here, just go ahead and drop it in the chat, and I'll add it to the book. So far, I've had a perfectly lovely evening. Unfortunately, it wasn't tonight. Just a little funny quote by Groucho Marx. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. That's my hero, Bruce Lee. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you must keep moving. Albert Einstein. Don't fail as you go on to draw or write something every day, for no matter how little it is, it will be well worth it. Oh, sorry, well worthwhile. And it will do you a world of good. That's by, I think it's Cianini, maybe. Not all those who wander are lost. He wastes nothing. He gets you ready. And we are the stewards of every voice God has placed on that stage, both human and instrumental. And I can't wait to just continue filling this with more quotes. So I might actually schedule another live session, and so that you all can get ready with your quotes. All right. I think that's it, familia. Thank you all so much for joining me. This has been another live session talking about Leonardo da Vinci style of journaling and note taking, and my 1 week of doing it. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope that you gained something from it, and hopefully you will also start your journaling practice. Angela, it was great to see you again. It's been a really long time since you've been on a live chat with us, so thank you for being here. Also, Ivan, thank you so much. Oh, and Ivan, by the way, I did get your message. I don't have a PO box. However, I think I have my email on my YouTube channel. Find my email, send me an email, and I will send you my address. I trust you. Also, if not, join me on the Discord page that we've created for this channel, and send me a message there, and I'll give you my address so you can send me those field notes. But I'd like to trade you, so I'm going to also build a journal for you, and I'm going to send one back your way. All right. So you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on the next one.